This is the first time the chairman of Ohaneze has actually attended the week convention, and we have a distinguished privilege to be around him. And he served as a mentor for so many of us. One day we will hope to go to be like him. I hope we do better. My pleasure, on behalf of the chairman of the World Igbo Congress, to introduce Chairman Ohaneze Igbo.
Chairman of the World Igbo Congress, Your Excellency, the Nigerian Ambassador to the United States of America, Professor Biozo, the very eminent Igbos sitting on this high table, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I came here on a very serious mission, and I came here to deliver a keynote address, and I have been told that that keynote address will be delivered tonight, when it is expected that we will have a big crowd, so that many more people will come to the message. I came here to deliver a very, very serious message to Igbo who are here. And I am not delivering that message now. So the time has not yet come. The time will come later tonight when I will unfold the very serious message that I came here to deliver. Igbo, this is a very critical period in the life of Igbo. This was why I decided at a very late stage in my life to embark on this kind of assignment. And it was not an easy decision for me to make, because I am not a politician. And I don't think I'm trained to survive in the jungle of politics. Because the kind of training and upbringing that I have had makes it imperative for me to speak the truth all. And unfortunately, you do not need to speak the truth all the time to survive in the jungle of politics. In fact, if you speak the truth, they will destroy you quite early in the game. So therefore, I am not set and trained to be in politics. So since 1962, when I returned to Nigeria as a very young barrister, to go into politics has been very, very serious. At every point, I resisted them. But when I was persuaded to embark on the presidency of Ohaneze less than a year ago, I had no choice, because I've spent my life serving Nigeria and serving Africa in the two professions. And in those two professions, I've done a lot for Africa, done a lot for the international community, and done a lot for Nigeria. But I found that Igbo were just suffering so much that our self-respect, our dignity was going every day. And when I was called on to do this, every single member of my family, everyone who loved me, told me, you can't survive in this area. Don't go. This is I find every member of my family to accept an assignment. And I accepted it just for one reason. I said to myself, even if it means sacrificing my life to make sure that Igbo get their rights and their dividends that belong to them in Nigeria, it is worth it. As well, Nigeria. I'm ready to do it. And that's what all I'm telling you is that I am not a politician. I have only one interest in this assignment, is to protect the interest of Ndi Igbo in Nigeria. Luckily for me, I took on this assignment at a time in my life when I don't need anybody's job. Yes. I don't need anybody's money. I don't need I don't need to please anybody, but I need to respect everybody. I need to be polite to everybody. I need to insist on what I believe is right for Ndi Igbo. And I need to do it in dignity, in respect, and in the right words, because you gain nothing. We've tried everything. We fought a war, and we got nothing. We have fought battles, we have got nothing. Let us try ihe Ndi Igbo na-akpọ akọnuche. Anyị tụkwala akọnuche ga iche. After we use akọnuche, ma anyị nweta ya, then a na-akụsa akụsa ya. Iche anyị bara now, iche akọnuche. Ọ iche akọnuche. So a maara unu, onye ọla bụ onye Igbo, ya jisi ike nyere anyị aka. Ka anyị were akọnuche, anyị iche. Ka anyị were akọnuche, anyị iche. Ka anyị jisi ike gbalịa mara. Anyị kwara onwe anyị, kwara ndị ọzọ ihe ga-eme ka anyị ghara inweta ihe anyị. Ọ ihe m chọrọ iji. But nke ugbu a, ihe m chọrọ ijetu unu, ịgwa unu ihe m na-achọ, ihe m ga-ekwu n'abalị. Amara unu biko onye ọla n'ebe a, ya bịa ebe a ka ọnụ ihe m ga-ekwu. Nkwucha ya, nwa eke m kwuru ma ọ ka unu jụọ m ajụjụ. Ihe anyị nọ wee mụta ihe. Ihe m ga-agwa unu n'abalị bụ ihe ewu Ohaneze, ihe Ohaneze chọrọ. Ihe Ohaneze Ohaneze on most key issues that affect Ndi Igbo and Nigeria. And some of the issues are as follows. Part of the things I would say is the position of Ndi Igbo in Nigeria, the new philosophy of Ohaneze and Ndi Igbo, protecting and advancing the interests of Ndi Igbo in Nigeria, Ndi Igbo and other Nigerians, including our neighbors, our relationship with our federal and state governments, how we relate to ourselves, and how we should relate to ourselves. And then the invention we call the 6 principles of Igbo social justice and Ohaneze. Why are you standing? Presidency of Nigeria and Ndi Igbo, the concept of true federation, economic empowerment of Ndi Igbo, education, the power of knowledge. You know that education is something that we had control of, but we lost it. And how do we get back to it? Then this concept of cultism and the new tragedy of the Okija Shrine. Igbo interest and national stability. And I said that I will prove to you that there is only one Igbo interest. Only one Igbo interest in everything. And this is very important to emphasize the non-partisan nature of Ohaneze and Ndi Igbo. Because Ohaneze is like a father. Everybody comes back there. ABGA will come back there. PDP will come back there. Dr. Kalu's own party will come back there. The other parties will come back there. And we must conduct ourselves and our affairs in such a way that when the ABGA man comes back, he knows he's coming home. When the PDP man comes back, he knows he's coming home. When the other parties come back, they know they're coming home. We must conduct ourselves remembering that history has taught us a lesson. That the moment Ohaneze becomes partisan, we're in trouble. If you remember a few years ago, There was a time, if I may use a political term, which I don't like to use, there was a time the MPN people hijacked Ohaneze, and suddenly the NP people deserted Ohaneze, and that was the beginning of the decline of Ohaneze, and it took a long time before it recovered. Ohaneze has been in existence for over 30 years. The first President General of Ohaneze was Dr. Akamidia, who's the embodiment of integrity. This is the kind of person we like to emulate, and he was a non-partisan person. He knew that there was one Igbo interest, and he stood for it. That is the kind of person we want to emulate, and that is the kind of the new Ohaneze we have is a grassroots organization to which every single Igbo man, wherever he is in the world, is a member. And when I say Igbo man, of course, I mean the women. So every single Igbo man or woman belongs to Ohaneze, and Ohaneze belongs to all of us. And we want you to use it to advance our interest. So we will talk about the need for unity. Luckily for us, unity is the most important thing that we need, because if we're united, we're 40 million people. Igbo, the conservative estimate is that we're 40 million people. There is nothing in this world that 40 million dynamic people, enterprising people, brilliant people like Igbo cannot do in a country like Nigeria. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing that we cannot do if we are able to speak in one voice. If we are able to be sufficiently united so that we can speak in one voice. That is the problem. How we can reconcile our elite so that they will know that there is only one Igbo interest. We must teach ourselves of the value of respect, respect for ourselves, respect for others, and respect for our institutions. When you see how other tribes, other ethnic groups in Nigeria respect their people, respect their institutions, then you see that our dynamism, our creativity is a problem. And so the tragic term, I don't know who invented it, I hope we will destroy it forever. Igbo, we better believe that Igbo we just have to respect our traditional institutions, our bases, and our seniors and elders, the way other people do. We must teach our children that when you are entering a room, simple thing like courtesy, when you are entering a room and you see an elderly person coming, you stand back. That's how my father taught us. Yes. You stand back and let the elderly one go. And not rushing before the elderly person. These are simple things, but they affect our image with other ethnic groups. These are the kind of things that we want to teach our people. We have to teach the value of tact. We have to teach the value of diplomacy. These are things that soften the way for you. And we have to teach the value of good manners. And Ohaneze should spearhead things like this. So, I would like to conclude this opening address, i.e. the introduction of what I proposed to do when I speak last night, and when I speak later tonight, on my keynote address, which will cover all these things. I'd like to conclude it to say that
thank him for recognize most of you may have seen him speak.
Some people when it comes to the issue of banking, because it's very critical, especially in Nigeria now, the way the banks are. Apparently, when you mention banks under Igbo control, there's a few facts. There's one or two banks that are not supposed to be there. When you talk about control, it must be over 51%. Right now, we're doing something in that aspect. It's critical, like the SAB man said. If you don't have a bank, forget it. It's your block. And the way Nigeria is structured, I'm happy the chairman of Ohaneze is a banker. There's a lot you can do with banking industry today. And we have only 7 Igbo banks. And today, in the present capitalization, 7 of them put together can make one bank. It's possible. That's why we're having meeting day every morning, every night. On the other one, he mentioned about the ones that are quoted in stock markets, Coincidentally, all the banks you mentioned, none have 15% Igbo holding. So you're buying shares of other people. And I can tell you, no other tribe in Nigeria will give you a check of a bank that doesn't belong to their area except Igbos. A check, I say, write a check and say, I've done business with you, this is the check. So, just correction, I'm prepared with a team to give you an advice, and two of the banks you mentioned are distressed. So you can mention something people can put in their money and they go. So we can give you background of sound financial institutions that Igbos control, and are very good. At least I serve on board of 3 banks, and I can give you that whenever you want. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mrs. Allison.
Obodo